Here we go. This could potentially, I mean, I could sell this un-ID'd for a lot. But for you guys, of course, I'm going to identify it. Here we go. Oh! On August 19th, 2022, there was a murder. A rogue game developer named DB Wilson, from his garage, killed Juicing. And since the Reddit autopsy has conclusively proven you cannot make money mapping anymore, it's time for us to move on to greener pastures and off into the unknown. Over the next week, I'll be doing something I've literally never done before. I'll be leaving maps, and I'll be going out on an adventure to continue my search to find the loot. Yo guys, welcome to the video. This is Josh or Milky, and in today's video we have one of the most fun farms I think I've ever done, and what it was synthesis map rotations with the invitation. Now, why was this so fun? Well, for me personally, I love big drops. I love that chance of getting 20, 30, 40, 50 divines, and this had that. It had those bases that can just pop off. You can get +1 quivers, you can get explode ones, bows. It's just insane loot. So I wanted to see just how good they were, and the results were pretty crazy. And we actually, as you see from the intro, got an insane ring. So let's see how that goes. Okay, so coming straight on into the skill tree, there's only a few things you need to be worried about, and that is taking all the modifiers that affect the bosses and unique maps. So that's Deadly Nightmare over here and Enriched Entities over here to give you that rarity. Other than that, it's just your Maven points for your invitations, Captivated Interest, and all these small points give you a bit of quantity, and then the smaller ones give you a chance for different kinds of loot while you're in there. And then Height of Hubris is actually what causes us to drop more splinters. I average between 8 and 10. Which seems pretty normal. Obviously, if you're doing the Fade, you're going to get double that, but I was getting between 8 to 10. And then the synthesis map nodes to give you more bases, which is more potential huge drops. So that's all you really need to care about on the tree. You maybe get these effective modifiers for the maps and the quant and rarity, but other than that, the tree, it just doesn't really matter. And then more shit. And then, of course, into how we ran the maps. We just took these distant memories. There's not much you can do to them. You can't like chisel them or anything like that. So we just got them as they are. We bought 48 of each. It took a while. We actually bought out the market. So that is one important thing. This might not be something that you can force to do because you might just run out of stock. I ended up buying pretty much every single one on the market at one point. There was none left for me to buy. So maybe this is more of a showcase of what you can do this. Maybe you can do it earlier in the league when there are more people playing. So there are more maps. And that could give you the opportunity, but right now it's very difficult to get these maps in bulk, and I think that's because most people are running singular focus, and that actually deletes these maps as a potential drop. So also you can use sack frags, which give you more quantity, which is more synthesis items, and the same more fragments to give you a bit more quantity. So that's how we ran the maps. That's all we did. And then for the invitations, which I will And then for the invitations, all we did was roll them with at least 70% quantity. You can use a regex to do that. That's all I did, and I just rolled them until I got it. It didn't take very long, and then we just ran them. We didn't have to do anything. They're quite straightforward as far as invitations go, but they went really well, and we'll go straight on into the loot. So for this one, it is going to be a little different. You can see there's a lot of Chaos Orbs in there. You might be thinking, oh, how do you drop so many Chaos? The simple answer is we didn't. I tried to sell the items as we went because we were going to get so many rares that I decided to sell them. I will have a link on the spreadsheet that will show you all the items I've sold so far, and I'll go over the biggest ones. But first of all, I want to cover one thing, and that's the Maven's Writs. We actually dropped 44. Now, these goes for 0.6 divines each. And I was only paying 0.9 for a full rotation. So 2/3 of the investment cost was covered just by the Maven's Writs. That's what all those Chaos Orbs are. So now this page is all the rings. I did ID them. I have saved the good ones for you guys, of course. These were all just like the trash implicit, so we don't really care about. I've just put it for 85C. So if any sell, I think we sold 2 so far, as you can see. And I'm checking them. If I get whispered, I check them. And if they're any good, then I'll reprice them and just let the guy know. But for the big ones, the reason you might be here. We got an Onslaught Topaz Ring, which is brilliant. We got an Onslaught Max Life Reduced Mana Cost Ruby Ring, which is also very good. And then, finally, we got this bad boy. crit multi, +1 frenzy, spell damage per power charge. Now, it's not the perfect base because typically what you do is you run Badger the Brotherhood with this kind of build. So the +1 max frenzy doesn't actually do anything for you. But for the right person, this could be absolutely crazy. So we're going to ID those right now and see exactly what we get. First one. Okay, so what we're looking for is buff effect and increased damage. And what did we get on the first one? We got light. Okay, so that's not too bad. We got lightning damage and reservation. That could definitely sell to someone. We can actually check onslaught with some lightning damage and reservation efficiency. There's 2 up, 5 divine. Pretty good. We'll probably get rid of that for about 4 because that one was listed a day ago. Next one, this ruby ring. This ruby ring's really good base. So obviously we want to hit something nice on it. And we get probably the worst thing we could have got. God damn. Shit. Fire res this. Onslaught, maybe. Is onslaught just worth anything on its own? No, maybe a divine. Okay, but the big one. The reason you're here. Here we go. This could potentially... I mean, I could sell this un-ID'd for a lot. But for you guys, of course, I'm going to identify it. Here we go. Oh! What? No way! I wish this was fake. What the... We actually hit it. Dude, we actually hit it. I have no idea how much this is going to be. Okay, so one with frenzy is a... Dude, I did not think we were going to hit that. Holy dude. Okay, so before I get too excited, let's finish the video out. Wow. We're going to go and do the spreadsheet. I'm a bit like, whoa, what's just happened? But yeah, we're going to go to the spreadsheet, and that's pretty insane. Okay, so now that I've calmed down and I'm no longer like falling off a chair, I am a bit giddy, I'm not gonna lie. Here's a spreadsheet. So here's how we did. We actually made 8.6 divines per hour, but of course, as usual, for these out of map strategies, I'm not really caring about the div per hour. It's more about that profit per map. And map in this case, we're going to call a rotation, which is 4 maps and then the invitation itself. And oh boy, did we make a lot of money. If you look at this, of course, 286 chaos per rotation. Rotation took us about 8 minutes or so. And a lot of that money obviously came from these good drops. The excellence tab with all the currency in it. I think this is actually higher now because I sold a few other things, so maybe there's an extra 60C, but that's not going to change the world. And then you can see there's the quiver and the ring that I had sold and didn't show you guys. And I just had this here as, again, to stress just again how important these Maven writs are, just to make back your investment cost. It's crazy. We're paying like 0.3 divines per go when you just subtract the Mavens. It's crazy. Invitations are so good, and the reason I like this one, as I said, is for them insane drops. And, wow. We got one of the most insane I think I've ever seen. It's probably the best item I've ever identified. I think that's worthy of a like, maybe even a subscribe, guys, and we'll be back tomorrow. I have a feeling we're not going to be able to top what we did today, but I'm super happy with the results. And thank you all for watching very much. I hope this was entertaining, and I'll catch you next time.